I was the supervisor at the La Roma parking garage, the absolute last point a car can reach before entering Venice. Every single day, my job is to politely explain to hundreds of tourists that from this point forward, you walk. You take the Vaporetto. You do not drive. But nothing, and I mean nothing, prepared me for a couple who had driven a colossal pickup truck all the way from Florida. They were demanding I find them a special service entrance to the city so they didn't have to carry their 3 giant suitcases. When I showed them the footbridge leading to the water, the husband threw his hands up in utter disbelief. He pointed directly into the Grand Canal and started shouting, "What about this paved road right here? It looks wide enough for a golf cart. Just get me a golf cart to take us to our hotel. Is everyone here just lazy?" He was genuinely furious that a 500-year-old floating city didn't cater to his driving needs. When I worked hotel reception in Venice, we had a couple check in who had reserved a luxury suite near the Rialto Bridge. They called down to the front desk almost immediately, not to complain about the room, but about the service. "We're ready for the bellboy to take our luggage from our car," the woman stated matter-of-factly. I had to politely explain, yet again, that their car was in the Piazzale Roma parking garage, which was over a kilometer away, across several canals, and that the only way to get the luggage was either for them to walk it or hire a private taxi. She started screaming. "This is ridiculous. We paid for a luxury hotel. I shouldn't have to walk. We didn't pay to live like primitives. Send a cart." I gently told her the only carts in Venice were hand carts. And no, we weren't sending someone to push their 200 pounds of luggage for a mile. My friend runs a small ethical tourism company on the Greek island of Santorini. He was guiding a very large American group up the steep steps to Fira, explaining that the area is preserved and cars are impossible, so we walk, take the cable car, or ride the traditional donkeys. One of the men in the group stopped, looked at his phone, and tried to order a ride. When no car showed up, he got furious at my friend. "Why can't I get an Uber? This is a major tourist destination. Call me a cab. I'm not walking up this hill with a bad knee. Is this some kind of cheap European joke to make us look silly?" My friend just sighed, pointed to the sheer cliff face and said, "Sir, you could call an ambulance, but not a taxi." I witnessed this in Amsterdam, near a famous canal ring. A tourist in a massive rented SUV was trying to follow his GPS down a cobbled street, clearly marked for bicycles and pedestrians only. He got stuck, blocking dozens of cyclists and locals trying to walk. When a police officer approached and politely told him he had to back up, the tourist started arguing. "This is a public road. I have a right to drive here. Bikes are for exercise. Cars are for actual transportation." He seemed to genuinely believe that his 4-ton vehicle had a superior right-of-way over an entire city built on bicycles. The officer just wrote the fine, looking utterly defeated, like he'd just realized the difference between a bike lane and the American mindset was insurmountable. I was a student working part-time at a little hotel near the Spanish Steps in Rome. We had a couple who drove right up to the front, which is a strictly forbidden zona a traffico limitato, limited traffic zone. Of course, they were towed immediately. They called the police, not to report the towing, but to demand the police drive their car back to the hotel once it was released, because they were too tired to walk to the tow yard. When the officer on the phone explained the situation, the husband yelled, "You are ruining my vacation with your ridiculous traffic laws. Why are you trying to punish me for using a car in a city?" The officer just hung up. The couple had to call a taxi to take them to the tow yard. A 10-minute walk. I was the rental return agent for a major global car company in Paris. After 2 weeks, a man came in to drop off his sedan. He was visibly fuming. He slammed the keys down and launched into a 20-minute diatribe about his entire European vacation. He He wasn't mad about the car. He was mad at the entire continent. He ranted that every single city he visited, Paris, Florence, Rome, Barcelona, was terribly designed because he could never find a free parking spot or drive his vehicle directly up to the historical monument he wanted to see. He had spent more time circling blocks and sitting in traffic than seeing the sights. He even complained that the roads were too narrow and the signage was confusing. His final conclusion, his ultimate punchline, was delivered with the confidence of someone who had just solved a global crisis. Honestly, Europeans are just lazy walkers. They are afraid to drive, and they don't know how to build proper cities for cars. He truly believed that a city that prioritizes people and history over vehicles is fundamentally broken. The real story here isn't just about refusing to walk. It's about a belief system. The belief that the convenience of personal vehicle access should automatically supersede culture, history, and community space. Getting around isn't just A to B. It's respecting how a culture chooses to build its space. And for some, if you can't park within 10 feet of the door, the system has failed. If you've ever been a tour guide, a taxi driver, or even just a local trying to navigate a narrow street while an SUV tries to turn, I know you have a story that tops this list. Share your most unbelievable "Where's the drive-thru" story in the comments below. Let's show just how common this reliance on the automobile really is. Next time, we're changing continents again, and we are going deep into the bathroom. We're looking at the stupidest things Americans do when trying to use a toilet in another country. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.